Hello and welcome to Just My Opinion UK. Today I'm talking about the Omega Seamaster Planet Ocean Chronograph with the Calibre 9300 movement. I'm talking about this watch. This watch is, as some of you may know, one of my favourite watches of all time. I have reviewed this watch in some detail, so please check out my other videos and subscribe to the channel for more watch updates. Now, this watch, the reason I'm filming this is because I believe that the Omega Seamaster Planet Ocean Chronograph with the 9300 movement is the watch that ruins all other watches for men, and I will tell you why. Now, this watch is a very, very large watch at 45.5 millimeters. It is an absolute monster of a watch. Now, to compare it, I will put next to it my wristwatch, which I'm wearing today, which is the Rolex Submariner. So you can see instantly there is a big, big difference in the two watches. And if you were to look at them both there, you can see there is a massive difference in the thickness, massive difference in the cases. The Rolex Submariner is a 40mm case, and the Planet Ocean Chronograph is a 45.5mm. So 5.5 millimeters, I mean, that's half a centimetre, so it is considerable size difference. Now, what has happened is I have had this watch, the Omega Seamaster Planet Ocean. This has been my main daily wearer for the last 6 months, and I absolutely adore this watch. It's one of my most favourite watches ever made. I absolutely love it. The problem is I've worn it for that long now that all other watches that I try are too small. All other watches that I have worn since, including the Rolex Submariner, feels very, very small in comparison. So for this reason, I think the Planet Ocean ruins other watches. It ruins the experience for watch owners because, you know, the average men's watch is sort of anywhere from sort of 38, 39mm to 42mm. For argument's sake, you get a dress watch. You know, if you were to get an Omega dress watch, you'd be looking at 38, 39mm. If you were to get an Omega Seamaster, that's 42mm. So you can sort of say that, you know, 38 to 42 is the range for men's watches. When you're getting into 45.5mm, you are talking about a professional diver's watch. You're talking about a big, chunky, a proper diver's watch. So let's take the Rolex out of the way for a minute. So you're talking about, you know, proper thickness. You're talking about a chunky, very, very heavy watch. Obviously, this one has got the display back with the 9300 movement. It's a beautiful movement. Like I say, you can see the full review of this watch. It's an absolutely awesome watch, but it does ruin all other watches for the wearer. And for this reason, I've got to say that I'm getting put off this watch a little bit for that reason. It is... There's other watches out there that I would like to own, and there's other watches out there which I enjoy, but I find that if I wear this for a few weeks and then I go and have a look at other watches and I try them on, I find that I can't wear them because they feel too small. And I've had this with my Rolex Submariner. Now, the Rolex Submariner is, like I say, it's 40mm. It's, you know, the perfect size. It's a really, really comfortable size to wear, and it's a lovely, lovely watch, and it's well proportioned, which makes me think that this watch, the Planet Ocean, is oversized for day-to-day use. But I can't bring myself to sell it because just look at the beauty of this watch. This watch is stunning. It's absolutely stunning. Possibly the most beautiful watch on the market. It's absolutely gorgeous, and when the sun catches it, it's just amazing. It's an absolutely stunning watch. Like I said, I've worn this near enough every single day for the last 6 months, and you can see just there's a slight hairline mark just there, but other than that, it's pretty much, there's some slight marks maybe on the clasp, but remembering this has been used every day for 6 months. Some slight markings there. But yeah, so no, this is a really tough, really good tough watch from Omega. Now, interestingly, the Omega Planet Ocean is £5,240, and the Rolex Submariner is £5,450. So that puts these two watches within a couple of £100 difference of each other. I have to say, between the two, the Omega is definitely the biggest. It feels the heaviest. It's definitely the heaviest. It feels the better built. It is the prettier watch. It's much more attractive than the Rolex. I have to give the Omega the lead on this one. Usually people will compare the Rolex Submariner to the Omega Seamaster, just the standard Omega Seamaster, which is really frustrating because it's not really giving Omega a chance. The Omega Seamaster is 2,770. The Rolex is 5,450. Now, people will say, oh, the Rolex is better than the Seamaster, blah, 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 which is a fair comment, it is. But if Rolex made a watch for 2,770, would it be better than the Omega Seamaster? I don't think it would be. I think the Seamaster is a fantastic watch, and I think you would struggle to do better for that money. But when you get to this level, you're talking of two watches, which, 5,240, 5,450. You're talking about two watches where there's £200 in them. This is a fair comparison. This is a fair, quality comparison. And let's for a minute just say that this Planet Ocean represented all Planet Oceans. Obviously, this is a chronograph, this isn't, so you can't really do too much of a detailed comparison of the pair. But if you were to take the Planet Ocean with the Calibre 8500, for argument's sake, in 42mm, which is the one that Daniel Craig wore in Skyfall, if you were to take that and put the 40mm Rolex together, now the 42mm with the 8500 movement is 3,950 as a new purchase. You can pick them up for just under 3,000 on the pre-owned market. If you were to compare the Planet Ocean with the Rolex, I would have to give the Planet Ocean the edge. The Planet Ocean has got the better technology in the movement. The Planet Ocean, I would say, is the better build quality. The Planet Ocean is the better looking. The Planet Ocean is an all-round fantastic watch. The problem that the Planet Ocean has is it's not as investable. The Rolex, you can purchase this pre-owned for around about 5,000. This is a 2016 model for £5,000 pre-owned. You could keep this watch and wear it for 5 years, and you could sell it and make a profit. This watch, I paid $5,240 brand new. Today, this watch is 6 months old. Today, I would be lucky to sell it for $3,750. So on this one, I've taken a hit and I will lose money. On this one, I will break even if I went to sell it today. So it makes them comparable, but it makes the Rolex the better investment, whereas the Omega is definitely the better build and the better. I would say the Omega is the better watch, apart from the size. But Omega have addressed that, and they have brought out their new range of Omega Planet Oceans, and I understand that this watch has dropped down to 43mm. So that 2mm I do think will make a difference. But like I said, between a comparison of the two, the Omega is the better watch, but the Rolex is the one to live with. The Rolex is definitely the one I would edge towards, because it is the watch that you can live with. It is the comfortable watch. It's the watch that is a similar size to other men's watches. The Planet Ocean has, or had, ruined other watches for me, because I wore this for 6 months, and when I went into any boutiques and tried other watches on, I felt they were too small in comparison. Now I've had a few weeks without this on my wrist, the Rolex feels perfectly comfortable, and all other watches of of this size feel comfortable on my wrist. I've put this back on today, and this feels an absolute giant on my wrist. So, I think that the Omega Seamaster Planet Ocean, if you have one watch, is the watch to own. If, however, you're thinking of collecting a few watches, I wouldn't recommend putting a Planet Ocean chronograph in your collection, because it will spoil the other watches. It will make the other watches feel lesser watches in the way that they feel too small. But it is only an illusion. They aren't too small. It's just you're wearing this absolute monster day in, day out. Put anything on your wrist that's smaller than this and it feels a small watch. You just forget that this thing is an absolute giant amongst other watches. Yeah, I mean, fair enough. Breitling and a few other companies do bigger watches. I'm not saying that this is the biggest on the market. As far as a professional diver's watch goes, this is quite a chunky beast when you compare it to the Seamaster, the Submariner, and you know, I suppose this one would be a fair comparison to something like a Sea Dweller, a Rolex Sea Dweller maybe. But let me know what you think. Please leave me a comment, subscribe to the channel. Any questions, I will answer best I can. Yeah, this is just to say just my opinion UK. Any questions, let me know. Subscribe to the channel. If you want me to do any videos, reviews of anything, let me know. I'm reasonably new to YouTube, so forgive any any errors. I'm hoping to deliver content instead of fancy intros and fancy videos. Thanks for watching. Take care.